So Pokemon Sun and Moon was such great games, and along with those brand new games, they announced brand new Pokemon. Along deep within those Pokemon, they announced the brand new Alolan Forms. These Pokemon take on different forms due to the hot Alolan weather. Now Raichu, for example, went from an electric type Pokemon to a psychic and electric type along with a whole new redesign. We were all hyped for these new Pokemon, and the only thing was, there were some forms we didn't really like. So today's video will be the top 5 Alolan forms we wanted. Basing this off the Pokemon from the Kanto region, it was hard to nail down just 5, so I had my good friend Twintendo to help me out. Now please remember, this is all opinion based. There will be some Pokemon on this list that you probably didn't want, but fear not, be sure to leave me your top 5 Pokemon you wanted to see get an Alolan form in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to go ahead and check them out. Drop a like if you guys do go on to enjoy this video, and subscribe for daily uploads as well. With all that out of the way, let's jump into the top 5 Alolan forms we wanted for Sun and Moon. So first on the list is Alola Arcanine. This Pokemon was speculated like crazy to have an Alolan form. On the picture you can see there is a lot of Pokemon that seem to have been made into real Pokemon. We can see what looks like the base drawing of the Kamala Pokemon, and we also can see a base drawing of Trumbeak. Now the Alola Arcanine to me seemed so legit at the time, but the evidence wasn't 100% to back it up. Fans speculated that we could be receiving him, but instead we got an Alola Ninetales form. Now don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Alola Ninetales and I think it looks absolutely incredible, but I would have loved to see an Alola Arcanine. Just to think what they could do with the design for the Pokemon. They could have made him into an ice type Pokemon, much like what they did with the Ninetales, but I think his blue design ties in nice and well with it. People speculated that he could have been a water type due to his design having them wave ripples effects on his legs, and the way that his fur floated around. I think I would have been either happy with the design if they did that. If they ever do decide to make an Alolan forms in the future, I definitely think Alola Arcanine is a must.
Coming in at number 4 is a Pokemon that has seemed to be mistyped for a few years. This is the duck Pokemon Goldup. Ever since seeing this Pokemon and its pre-evolution Psyduck in the anime, as a kid I always assumed it was a water psychic type Pokemon, since it and Psyduck could use multiple psychic attacks such as Confusion. In fact, Goldup can learn 15 psychic moves, and certain Pokedex entries make note of its psychic powers. Here's an extract from its Dex entry in Pokemon Silver. It appears by waterways at dusk. It may use telekinetic powers if its forehead glows mysteriously. Now the reason why I bring up its potential psychic powers is because we have seen the Alola region influence other older Pokemon and allowing them to develop psychic powers such as Alolan Raichu. So it would be great to see Goldup unlock its full potential one day, especially since it isn't a very versatile Pokemon for battling. It's great in the rain, but outside of it, it suffers, and although it can learn powerful psychic attacks, it doesn't receive a stab effect for those moves because it's just a pure water type Pokemon, and therefore it's just wasted potential. So one day I'd love to see Goldup finally master its psychic powers we all know it has hidden away deep down in itself. If that day ever does arrive, Goldup will no doubt become a Pokemon you won't want to mess with.
Moving down the list at the number 3 spot is a Pokemon I cannot believe didn't actually get an Alolan form, Alakazam. I mean, come on, this Pokemon is highly known throughout many people, from his hard-hitting psychic type attacks to the amount of spoons this man has to carry. I've seen many fan art of what people could have thought this Pokemon could be, and just bear in mind, you know, his design would look absolutely incredible. Make him a fighting type, I would love to see it. Now we've seen many Pokemon change throughout having an Alolan form. Exeggutor is now a dragon type, Marowak is now a ghost type, so we could really turn Alakazam into a fighting type Pokemon. Now I approve of many things in this, but him holding a pair of nunchucks seems a little far-fetched to me. But other than that, I think turning up his special attacks into hard physical hidden attacks could be the way forward and a good turnout for Alola and Alakazam. I think there is some different designs we could think of, but I definitely think it's the right step forward.
Taking the second spot on this list is a fan favourite Pokemon that seemed for all the world was going to get an Alolan form before Sun and Moon was released. This is of course the butterfly Pokemon, Butterfree. Butterfree is a Pokemon that is fondly remembered by fans who grew up with the anime, as Ash once owned one himself. However, Butterfree is one of the weakest original Pokemon when it is compared to other fully evolved Pokemon. Now not all Pokemon are set out for success, but Butterfree could be so much better. Its stats are incredibly average, it has many type weaknesses, and can even be easily damaged by simple entry hazards like Stealth Rock, since it has a 4 times weakness to rock type moves. Thinking about it, it's actually quite surprising that Butterfree never even received a Mega Evolution. Now that Alola Forms add a new gimmick, it would have made so much sense to give Butterfree an Alolan form, as its stats are miserable and its typing really hinders it. Butterfree would definitely benefit from type change as well, and it could even take on its form from the Orange Islands, which has a very similar climate to the Alola region.
The final Pokemon making it onto this list is none other than VilePlume. I would 100% back this up, and it makes sense for this Pokemon to receive an Alolan form. As we all know, plants survive on sunlight. And we could argue saying, yeah, but Blossom, well, think of it this way. They have been making Alolan forms for Pokemon from the Kanto region, right? So they wouldn't dare give Blossom saying, you know, this is its Alolan type form, because that's a different generation totally to the Pokemon. I personally think Alolan form VilePlume would look absolutely incredible. Now, I would love to see some brighter colours in his design, possibly making it into a poison and fairy type, or a grass and fairy type. I think it would definitely fit the VilePlume vibe. It's a hard choice due to Victory Bell and VilePlume being so much close competitors for an Alolan form, but for me personally, I prefer VilePlume. I just think this Pokemon would fit the Alolan weather much better. So guys, that looks like we're all out of time. These were the 5 Pokemon that we would love to see get an Alolan type form. So if you guys really did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, as it is super greatly appreciated, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any more videos to come. It basically takes a second, but it lets you keep up to date with everything that we post here on the channel. Also remember to drop dive 5 Pokemon that you would love to see get an Alolan form in the comment section below, and I'll definitely check them out once I get to it, guys. I would like to thank my friend Twintendo for joining me on this list, and I'll be sure to go over to Twin's channel as well and check out the video we did over on his. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for supporting. To you guys at home, I've been FeintAttacks, and I'll catch you guys back in the next video. Bye!